give me 2 minutes to actually get to a nice starting mode. Welcome everyone. Okay, so the story of thousands of engineering students in India is such that they do their bachelors. After bachelors, they are doing odd jobs. Okay, and they realize one of their ways to get out of that situation is this gate exam. They are trying to clear this gate exam, hoping for better prospects. Okay, so Himanshu has the same story but with one difference. Okay, he was in that situation, but now he also has seen success. So that's a difference, and he scored all India rank 10 in gate biomedical 2022, and he is heading to IITB for his masters. Sharing his success story, I thought, a lot of students, all those thousands of students could benefit hearing Himanshu's story and, what he did and all that. So that's the reason to have this conversation. So welcome Himanshu and welcome everyone else present in this meeting. So first question is, of course, so how was your feeling? What was your emotion soon after seeing your, gate score and your rank?
Thank you so much for such a kind introduction. And hi, everyone. Um, After seeing my score and rank, I did not expect that to be like that. My paper did not go exactly very well, but being a national competitive exam, it's kind of like a gamble for you as well, where you learn and you just realize that, oh, this score was good enough to get you a rank this good. And but yes, I was obviously taken aback, and I was extremely happy that I would get to pick, not exactly like just be given one choice and select that, but actually choose a college that I want to go to and a course which I can. Yes, this that felt really nice. Just taking on that adventure to actively choose what to do next. That felt really good.
Okay, so this is now that I have seen like at least students for 3 years, this is becoming a recurring theme. All the toppers specifically, all India rank, the single digit toppers and all of them are thinking the paper is extremely hard, and they are sad after the exam until the results show up. Okay, so yeah, this is recurring specifically in biomedical paper, and I'm glad you you get to choose where you want to go. And so could you also tell us briefly about your introduction, your background, and
Okay, sure. Yes, sir. So I have done a diploma in mechanical engineering back in 2016. And then I started a BTech in mechatronics. I wanted to change my fields because mechanical got a little bit linear for me. So I did that. And during that time in my engineering, the courses were still very repetitive because, well, mechanical engineering subjects. So I started looking out for projects. And the faculty that was most welcoming were the people from biomedical signal processing background. So they welcomed me, and I was able to work with them on a project or two. My interest kind of started getting peaked there. So after my BTech, I could not see the extent of those projects further, but the faith and the goodwill of those advisors stayed with me. And I wanted to get back into academics, but my academic record was not very brilliant, as to say. So yeah, I started doing jobs. I worked at 2, 3 companies individually, but I kept appearing for different examinations, keeping in mind biomedical engineering, and since my interest kind of leans towards neuroscience a little, so I was trying to get into that. I appeared for an exam called JZ Bells, but it's very biochemistry and molecular biology dense, so I could not crack that. Then I appeared for GATE for the first time. It was with Sir. I was attending the mock classes, and the second time around, I actually attended all the classes and, well, cleared the exam. So
yeah,
it has been quite a while.
in fact, I was actually about to ask that. You mentioned it. The first time you came to me, you said, "Sir, I'm interested in neuroscience. I have a very different background. Can I somehow get into biomedical engineering?" Still remember that. So, yeah, Himanshu has been actually for 2022, he was one of our students. We are very proud to have him. And so, can you tell us about our contributions to your success?
I think it was just about consistent efforts and taking phone calls and replying to all the mails, having content which was very widely researched and course specific, also concepts and topics being taught in a way which are very different and new. Um, so it was just exciting to go through that. I mean, just to think how biomechanics may seem like a very huge subject, but you can just concise it or like just reduce it to three equations completely, and that is what biomechanics is. And the rest is just intuition and common sense, to be very honest. And all of that translates to all the other subjects and how you go about it. So that was brilliant to actually be a part of. In fact, in 2021, since I was not able to get into the classes, sir still let me appear for the mock tests. And I used to aggressively mail him about doubts and the questions I did not understand. So he would actually still reply, and he'll tell me like where to find those topics. Even in fact, he'll also mention the page numbers that I could look for the certain things for. That was also great help. So yeah.
Okay, so I think the context might be missing for some of you. So he kind of again completed the picture towards the end. He was talking about me. Thanks, Himanshu. I'm glad to hear this from someone. This is the reason why I do what I do. And the three equations he was mentioning is basically Newton's laws of motion. Of course, I'm not like Maxwell who condensed electromagnetism into four equations, but whatever Newton did, his genius, I could convey that in the class, right? I'm glad I could do that. And we did not have enough space for Himanshu, unfortunately, in 2021. But I tried to help him. All the phone calls, emails you were mentioning, that's actually my phone calls and emails. I do reply to students who are actually very passionate and motivated. It's not like all the calls I completely block them off in my phone and all that. This happened in 2021. He took the mock test that we organized. He did reasonably well, right? But couldn't grab a seat because of category related issues, I suppose. You did reasonably well in
I,
2021.
I, I, I got an All India rank 60 in 2021 as well, but I did not get a seat. I got an offer from IIT Jodhpur, but that was about it. And well, my interest did not align with the kind of course and things they were offering, basically.
Okay, so now, so what was different between 2021 and 2022?
Preparation wise, or just
Primarily preparation wise. Generally, how was the experience? 2021 experience and 2022 preparation. How was it different?
okay? I'll start with the 2021 experience. So, being from a mechanical yet mechatronics background, there were a lot of new subjects. I could see very basic core concepts being addressed here and there, but I still did not know how to tackle them or where to basically start about those courses. I came across Source Channel, I went through that, and they were actually very well made playlists I could follow and go through. But I still had to refer to a lot of outside external resources to make sense of things for myself, because there's only so much content that Sir can put out to public. Otherwise, there's no point of classes. But his mock test series really helped me to get an idea of how the paper may look like, the topics that I should prepare for, which are repeating and important topics which are a part of biomedical engineering. So in 2021, bottom line was that it was very difficult for me. I had to study very strenuously, and it just did not pan out because I did not have a very clear structure of how to go about it. I was just aiming at covering all the syllabus but not securing as much marks. Now, coming to 2022, as soon as the classes started, so I had a very clear structure of how to go about it. It was like, this is generally the breakup how it goes, and we expect marks from this section like this much, this much, this much, and we can go about it like that. And the classes were ranked like that. So I did not have to refer to a lot of external resources. It was a little frustrating to do the same paper again, in all honesty, but It was. It was still fun to just look at the topic and know that, oh, you know some of it. So whatever you're picking up here in the class is extra, or like just a. It started off as a revision for me. I think when I started the classes in May, June with Sir, but after that, obviously, I also kept losing track of, oh, these are topics that I have to do and all that. But yes, in 2022, I think the structure of it did not have to refer to a lot of external sources, because Sir would share papers. Sir would actually send extra video links in the playlist that he makes, like a very huge playlist. You can refer to other videos before coming to the class to know what you're going to talk about today. So that all made the class very interactive. And there were actually very intense revision sessions at the end of when the exam was nearing. That also really helped, just like to quickly catch up with like topics that you may or may not have missed. So in 2022, it was relatively easier as compared to 2021 in terms of preparation.
Okay, and so it's actually a nice strategic decision for students with an interdisciplinary background to try GATE BM, right? So can you make some comments on that, and also your experience preparing for GATE Biomedical with a background in mechatronics, mechanical engineering, and so on?
I think relatively for me, it was a little biased. It was
Uh-huh.
easier for me because, let's say biomechanics, it's just general applied mechanics. That is a subject that is from the very first semester to the very last semester. They just keep applying those concepts to something different. Biomechanics was like that. Biomaterials was something like that. Whereas being from mechatronics, I studied subjects like signal processing. I studied subjects like signal and systems control theory. So these subjects also gave me a decent enough background to come into the biomedical subjects. And then basically after picking up those core and foundational ideas and then just understanding it, like bioinstrumentation, besides just understanding the basic physiology and how you can just use those simple concepts there, it was just it was just simple underlying concepts of basic electrical, electronics, mechanical engineering. So it was great. And I actually take pride from being a multi interdisciplinary background, because we are always taught to learn more and more. It's not, like I said, like diploma in mechanical engineering got very linear because you were only learning subjects in a very similar category. But for mechatronics, you have to just shift your entire mindset and forget about that you're able to visualize certain things and you're not. So that was a very big added advantage on my end to
Oh,
go for a BM paper after coming from an interdisciplinary background.
okay, so still there is a lot of commonality and the foundations are the same. So I think there is a strong takeaway for students from electronics and instrumentation background. If you could give biomedical as a second paper, you should go try it. Okay, and coming back to this, Himanshu, um, can you how are you juggling different jobs? How many hours did you spend for gate? Did you find time for gate preparation? How many hours did you spend for gate preparation? Can you shed some light on that?
So briefly, if I'd say I made 3 to 4 hours daily, including the lecture time, which was 3 days a week, 4 days a week. But I think that was it. That was needed. Besides that, I did not have time. I had to make time because the first time around, I got very frustrated to secure an all India rank of 60 and still not securing a good seat. So I was just hell bent on like just I have to get a seat and I have to I have to go to a good college. So I just made time. I initially in 2021 I had a day job, so it was difficult to study through the night. But then I got a night job so that I could fit in the classes. The classes used to happen from 6 to 8. So 6 to 8, 8:30. So I had a job that started at 10 in the night. So I wanted to keep my mind fresh, and that's it. I just stuck to a routine in ways, and that really helped.
Wow, actually, that's very, very commendable. I know students, uh, third year students, not able to find 2 hours per day for gate preparation. Even fourth year, final year students as well, right? Finding 3 to 4 hours solidly every day on an average, for a sustained period of time is certainly commendable. Certainly, that's what is required for GATE, and you made it like you stated that in like one line. I made time, right?
I have exactly, sir. You have to make time. Otherwise, there's no point. If you know what you want to do, all you need is intent. The rest, your actions will
Okay.
follow.
Okay. Yeah, that's a strong takeaway. Time is limited, but you have to find it. You have to make it. I think he said it better. Uh, and coming to the syllabus, the vastness of GATE syllabus, how did you manage it?
And so I funnily still have that little sheet here which I had. So like, if Gate had like, let's say biomechanics has basically 4 concepts that I have to understand. Bioinstrumentation has 30, and medical imaging has some major 10 topics, but 3 categories of each. So if I had like 120 topics, I'd also see how many days do I have, including the breaks, which were also important. Days when I don't do anything, that's also important. So I just break it down and make sure that I do just finish the topics a decent enough time beforehand so that I could also practice. And subject wise mocks actually help with that a lot. So when I was sitting down by myself and like studying all these topics, I could go to subject based mocks that Sir makes for the classes, and you could in fact check how well you're doing or not. Plus, this great feedback that Sir gives, individual feedbacks, in fact, like for every student. So that's also very helpful. So that helps.
Yeah, I somehow make time for individual feedbacks because that is important. And so, in fact, 120 topics, I myself have to sit and write down the topics in the syllabus. I just know the syllabus. I don't know. I never counted like how many topics, but if you could share a screenshot or a photo of your that sheet
I
that
will
you
I
are
will
referring
definitely
to,
look that up. I will definitely look that up.
it will be
It's every
helpful.
little topic. It's like it's from every little point. For example, biomaterials, what all materials I have to study, or like
Hmm.
it would be simple like medical imaging has concepts like X-ray, CT, MRI, ultrasound, and properties of biomaterials, characteristics. Biomechanics has kinematics, gate analysis, Maxwell, Voigt equations. So all of these topics, I still have a sheet right here which just
Uh-huh.
says that.
I certainly need a photo of that sheet. In fact, I can
Perfect.
try to edit it and add it to this video. Okay, in post processing.
Perfect.
And so regarding this, did you use? You are in our class. You had our notes, lectures, and all that, mock tests and all that. Were you using any outside references, resources?
Um, Not a lot. In 2021, I was using a lot of external resources because I had no idea about biomedical imaging, zero idea about it.
Hmm.
So I had to look at every basic topic. I was also learning how an electron spins. I also forgot that.
Uh-huh.
Left that back in 10th grade. And so in 2021 I was. In 2022, I the classes were enough if you were attentive in those. Plus, Sir records those sessions, so it was also helpful to just go and revisit them. Otherwise, you could always mail them and ask him, where do you want to figure things out. Also, that's about it. Besides that, I think I only refer to an outside topic for aptitude and basic math. That was Wiley's book. That was it. Besides that, I really didn't feel the need to go other ways and like look for references.
Okay. Yeah, I am also glad about getting some publicity about this class because the point is, reach more students in order to impact more careers positively, more lives positively, right? As a teacher. So I'm glad to get some kind of publicity. And finally, yeah, so any words about the channel, about our institute? Our institute name is Einstute. I'm sure Himanshu is one of the students who know that very well. So any words about the channel and our Einstute?
I am very happy about the growth, and I'm not surprised at all. I mean, um, Sir has been so kind in literally while trying to figure things out in 2021. Since it was the second time that biomedical gate was happening, nobody knew anything. it was difficult to fish out resources, even find out books that you can read from. And 2020 paper is extremely different from what came in 2021 and 2022. So just having an entire channel dedicated to it was like just something just dropped out of heaven for you. No pun intended. It was actually brilliant. I was, and I, who you never tend to just go out and just mail people off of YouTube, right? Not that often. So it just happened, reached out to Sir, did that. And besides that, the way Sir goes about teaching topics and his consistent efforts, I'm sure like the entire class which is present here right now also knows that like Sir does make time for you and he will help you with things, whether it be your preparation or personal as well. I am just, like I said, I'm not surprised by the group and I hope it does get the recognition that it deserves. I'm grateful just to be a part of it. That's it.
Yeah. Thanks, Himanshu. Even I feel blessed and fortunate to be doing this. And when I said, it's going to be a channel on biomedical engineering, there are only like 2,000 students giving gate exam. Why put a channel on that? No, that is what is needed, and that's what I am interested on. That's where I could have the maximum import. In fact, I had a tough time convincing some of my friends and family that we can still make this working. At the same time, I literally make time to publish any content in that channel, right?
I'm
uh,
sure so.
yeah, I mean, so if you put all the lectures here, the balance is lost, and there is no sustainability in this. That's it. We cannot continue this 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. That's one of the reasons to have the lectures, all the classes somewhat restricted. Have a nominal fee for that candidates, with of course with scholarships and all that. But we want to sustain this economically, and there is a balance between this all the classes that I conduct and what I could really offer in the channel. I mean, like, channel itself is like, why are you doing that? That's a question I get, but it's a fine balance that I am still trying to learn, and glad to hear your comments on that. This one again. Feeling blessed and fortunate. Why I do this? Okay, so you're headed to IITB. Are we looking
So
at a neuroscientist decade
now
or two down the line? So, what are your plans?
I don't know. I'm just keeping myself open to the possibilities right now. I have figured out a few professors that I may want to work with, but I am just excited. I actually chose IIT Bombay over any other college. I got offers from Delhi, Madras, Kharagpur, IISc, wherever. Everywhere I got offers from. And I just chose Bombay because I realized that I can't make myself become a specialist just yet. I don't know a lot. So being Bombay, offers a lot of introductory courses, even for biomedical engineering. So yes, that's what I'm excited about. I will just go and just start learning, keep a positive attitude, and take away as much as I can.
Okay, that's good to know. So, one of the best things is once you get into IITs, opportunities open up to you. So many possibilities, and if you have like consistent effort in your gate preparation, the IITs also, the possible IITs also kind of open up. You get to choose which IIT and all that. That's the best spot to be in. I am glad Himanshu is there right now. Okay, so I wish you very good luck with
Thank you
with
so
your
much.
consistent diligent effort towards a long-term vision, right? Neuroscience has so many problems to be solved, as well as so many mysteries to be,
Traveled. Yes, sir.
yeah, so many mysteries to be won or grabbed, understood, right? And so, very nice field to be in, and with passion, things kind of like. Compound exponentially. So, wish you good luck. Certainly, with your humility, your gratitude, things are in the right direction. I'm very sure of that. Okay.
Thank
So
you so much.
now, yeah, I'm actually uh, very glad to have this particular conversation. Okay, and we also have about. I expected a handful. We have more than a handful number of students. Let's also give some time to them. Let's open the table for discussion. If they have any questions, let them post. We can have some fun discussion for a few minutes, and then we'll wind up. Actually, it's just 30 minutes, man. We discussed seemed to be a very long conversation, right? But let's open up the table. That's my Dashan puppy. I don't know if others could hear things. So I'll turn off my mic. Anyone else wants to talk to Himanshu? Uh, anything, you're welcome. One at a time. So anyone wants to go right now?
It's okay, sir. They're just starting out with the preparation. It makes sense. It's just June yet, and end of June. So this will probably most of them must be like in college, right? Like final year of college. So it makes sense for them.
No. Not most of them are final year college. That's not the reason we are having this talk. Many of them have finished
Oh,
college. They are Some
okay,
of them are
okay,
working professionals. Some of them are
okay,
looking for better prospects, right? Some of them, unfortunately, in biomedical or unemployed. And
okay, okay.
yet, IITs are the only way to get out of this menace, dire situation. So no, not again. So some of my friends and all that colleagues think I am working with second year students. No. I am actually the responsibility I am dealing with is like lots of careers that I could impact. No, not final year. Some of them are final years, but so diverse. Uh, Geography is diverse. Again, we are kind of touching all corners of the country. Uh, their uh, their background is also different. Okay, and okay, so Priyanshu seems to have a question. Yes, Priyanshu, please go ahead.
Hi, you're not audible. I think he's muted himself again. So, like you said, if there are a lot of working professionals, if they score a good rank in GATE, um, IIT Bombay offers courses which you may not even apply for, and they'll reach out to you for MTech. They offer courses in IEOR, Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. And those, I think Anuj is already in that. It's a 2021 student. He's already in that course. So they reach out to you themselves, and they're not very. So they're very open-ended projects. They work with the government right now. So they reached out to me with like one project with the Indian Railways, and yeah. So it's interesting like how they go about approaching things.
Yeah, again, Anuj is one of the students I have always missed in my class, but whom I could help, out of the class as much as possible, like I did to Himanshu in 2021. He did not join the classes, but of course, he used to mail me, he used to text me, and all that. He took the mock tests and he got All India rank 6 in 2021. He again has an interdisciplinary background. He decided to take the program that Himanshu mentioned right now. Yeah, our country specifically has a lot of logistical issues. How do you move things from one place to the other? Right? If you're manufacturing a medical device, where do you get the parts from, components from? That's a logistical question that we need a lot of industrial engineers and a lot of experts in operation research to answer. Okay, not just in biomedical device manufacturing. You want to deploy a scalable, a prevalent ECG device, right? Pre-hospital ECG. How do you take that in a very diverse country like India? Again, we need experts on IE and OR. Okay, yeah, glad to know about it. So Priyanshu's mic is not working, but he has a question in the chat. Uh, okay, sir, you were from mechatronics. How you decided to do MTech in BME? Like how you found your interest? Yeah, how did you find your interest, man? Neuroscience. That's the hardest question our youth is facing these days. How did you find it? Or how did you know
I
it is neuroscience?
I still don't know, to be very honest. Like I said, I applied for a JZ Bell's exam, which was a master's in neuroscience, and it was a very mall bio and biochemistry exam. I did not know how to go about it. But I knew enough that being from mechanical or mechatronic background, my foundation or my understanding of a lot of subjects is not sufficient. So I needed something for that. So biomedical engineering seemed like the best stepping stone to complete that bridge, like between mechanical engineering and neuroscience for me. And as far neuroscience goes, I used to read a lot of psychology. So, but psychology deals in grays, and neuroscience makes more sense to me as an engineer, where you're just dealing in the binaries as much. So that made a lot of more sense to me. I hope that answered your question, Priyanshu.
Okay, from readings on psychology to realizing that spark that okay, this is mysterious, this is curious, and you want to know more. And right, yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. See, I only wish that that kind of spark happens with everyone here, also everyone listening. And when that happens, I also wish you notice it. Right, that should happen, and you should be you should be conscious of that so that you can take it forward. And further down, you need to be at the right place at the right time. That is, bridges should open up. Okay, neuroscience I want to do, but there is a bridge like biomedical engineering that should open up, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh, there are subsequent challenges ahead, but the starting point is at spark. And I am glad, in fact, Himanshu is the best person to have this discussion, because he came to me with that clear vision of learning neuroscience, becoming an expert in neuroscience. I wish that happens to everyone here. uh, that spark will not miss you even if you miss that spark. All you need to do is to explore. Okay, that spark will find you. And so, Priyanshu, I think you had a nice answer to your question. um, then anyone else? Okay, so now we have questions showing up in the chat, but that's fine. I'll again read the questions for everyone's sake. Akansha, why don't you go ahead, pose your question?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please don't call me sir.
Okay. So, sir, you said that you want to enter in neuroscience field.
Hmm.
So, like, there are many branches in neuroscience, like computational or complete biology and all that. So, in what field you are willing to enter?
I'm not sure of that yet either. So
Okay.
I'm just grabbing on as many opportunities as I can get into. Currently, like I got a position at IIT Gandhinagar as a project staff, and I've worked in the tactile domain actually. It was very new for me. I got to learn a lot here. So in the next college that I'm going, there are also like a lot of professors there who work on very different fields. So I am looking forward to actually working with them on a lot of projects, because reading about theory and working on projects in the capacity of an engineer are very different. So I'm just excited to see how they will pan out. There are people who work in behavioral, people who work in motor and rehabilitation, human disease. So I'll try to get my hands on as much as I can. That's how I'll
Like,
figure out what I like the most. Sorry, yes, please go on.
like my question was that as we are in biomedical engineering, so and if I want to go in neuroscience, like I'm also fascinated with the neuroscience field.
Okay.
So how we can go in that, like in we are engineers and it is like biology field, so how we can enter from engineering background to that neuroscience field, like that
It
is a question from
mostly
my side.
okay. So I don't know what they teach in a undergraduate course of biomedical engineering. Mostly the work that I've seen or I've been a part of here is that um, they look at learning. They look at how, for an engineer, for example, there are labs here which look at motor and learning. They'll make
Mhm.
you go through tasks and they'll see how you go about it. It's more or less computational in ways, but it's more about making sense of that data more. And that's what it really pans out to. You have to learn about things. And as an engineer, you can, in ways, figure out how to make the experimental setups for things. Or you can just expand your horizon and add a few biology, cell, protein, genetics subjects to help you get a better clarity on them.
Okay.
Yes, because if I want to add to that from a again a biomedical perspective, um, I forgot who posed that question, but what kind of a person designed EEG machine, right? It's
And
an
biomedical engineer.
although
Hello.
this word engineer refers to engine mechanical engineers, but engineers are the ones who are actually building these devices. When we have something in the news saying that you put a chip in a monkey's brain and now it started playing video games, there were clinicians, neurosurgeons working in the team, but a major part of the team is the person who designed that chip, right? Designed that interface uh, with, with the game, right? And to give a more relatable example from popular media, so is Iron Man an engineer? Iron Man. Iron Man, I suppose all of you would agree, is an engineer, right? One of
Yes.
the most advanced sci-fi things in Marvel comics and Iron Man is his bionic suit. He thinks and the suit moves, right? So he's connecting his brain or his mind to actions of the suit, a mechanical thing, right? That's one of the hardest cyber physical connections that could, actually take place. So engineers are the ones who could actually do this. Okay, involves a lot of engineering, and yeah, I mean, I would be surprised if you someone couldn't think of engineers' role in neuroscience. Okay, it's a vast field. Um, Nothing is
Medical
happening
imaging
without.
also is also a very strong example of that.
Yeah, again, medical imaging to understand Alzheimer's, to understand all the molecular changes, mechanisms that happen over the course of Alzheimer's, and to find course of corrections, molecular nanotech connections. All of these are being done by engineers. Okay, fortunately, biomedical engineering is broad enough that if you want to go explore the electronics, electrical engineering side, you could do that. If you want to go to a wet lab, explore the wet lab kind of side, you could do that. Or if you want to combine the wet lab with electronics, think of nano sensors, MEM sensors, and all that. It also gives you that opportunity to do that. And if you are so much interested in wet lab, okay, uh, with biomedical engineering, you should be able to easily move towards a field like biotechnology, stem cells, where they try to cure uh, very hard to or incurable stroke patients using stem cells, tissue engineering, and things like that. So uh, I only be surprised if I don't find opportunity, or find a match with my interest if you are in biomedical engineering. That's one of the nice things about the subject. Okay, so I gave you a couple of uh, broad examples as well as a few uh, deep examples. Okay, there are any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Sure, someone wants to go. Okay, there is a question, one important question in the chat. Okay, we'll address that, and whoever call me, we'll just wait for one round. So there is this repeat question: how difficult is it to manage gate preparations and work?
It's not. Um, okay, so I'll tell you my schedule. Okay, in a very simple way. I used to work this job from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Then I would probably sleep. I'd wake up by 2 or 3 comfortably. I just do my things and sit down to study. That was about my routine, and I would make time to do other things as well. I would give myself a break of a day or two in a week, which is also very important. So it's also important to have fun, but you have to make time. That's it. If you are in ways driven enough, whatever your motivation behind it may be, but that's what that is. So the most difficult part usually it becomes frustrating when you are unable to self generate that motivation. So you need to just keep that alive somehow, whether it's like just to have a fun day sleeping by sleeping by yourself, go and see your friends. Or for example, there was this very one fun thing that I used to do while studying. So if we studied some topic, let's say from biology, then I would go on YouTube and find any Nat Geo or a beautiful video that would tell me something extra about it. So in that way, I could leave like visuals basically, which will last in a memory longer. And so that's one way that I used to have fun while studying. You can also like all you have to do is just make time. It's just the intent that you need.
Okay, so I understand it as make time so important that I'm stressing it again, and make it fun. Okay, that's a new thing that showed up. Fine means to convert things into fun. You have to invent means for that. You have to be creative there. And I also noticed a couple of things. So some of you are like, sir, I'm a traveling biomedical engineer. In this, how do I make time and all that? Uh, my personal experience, when I was in high school, the JE center was like 2 hours away from my school. I had to travel 4 hours back and forth in a very crowded bus where there is hardly any place to stand. And in the crowded bus, somehow I'll take my book outside of that, above the heads, and I'll be reading. Okay. One example of making time. Of course, I have had students who do this, who are in rural areas, who travel to a college, who have to travel 4 years back and forth. Okay. 4 hours every day back and forth, just to go to their college. On their way to their college, they do read. They make time on their way to the college. I think the same thing applies with traveling biomedical engineers. Okay. You have to make time, and uh, he also mentioned you need that fun aspect. Our brain needs rest. Okay, the organ that doesn't need or shouldn't need rest is the heart. Okay, so find that drive or that intern or that fire in you why you're giving the gate exam. Then that heart will take care of no heart that doesn't stop. If it stops, you know what happens, right? That will take care of every other aspect. Okay, so find your reason as to why you are trying to give a gate. The stronger your reason is, the more your heart is aligned towards it, the easier it's to overcome difficulties. In fact, the fun they will become. All the obstacles will suddenly change into opportunities. Okay, so find that intent or find that why you want to give that gate exam. Okay, the stronger it is, easier it is going to be for you. Okay, the better it is going to be for you. Okay, and okay, someone wanted to raise a question. You could go ahead. I don't know who. Okay, we heard a sir. Okay, fine. But there is one more question in the chat. Let me read it. Okay, so one of the questions is, sir, what are the basic skill sets we should have as an engineer wanted to pursue masters in the field of biomedical, and the parameters we should look at if we have to check between MS and MTech, and what are the checklist you followed before joining IITB? Uh, I leave the stage to Himanshu. I just have, one of the questions I can answer, but I leave it to Himanshu because it's his day. In fact, it's his year. Uh,
That's a very, very elaborate question.
we'll look at one at a
Okay.
time. Basic skill set required to pursue masters in the field of biomedical. So I
I
hope
don't think there's any skill set that you need. All you need to do is just clear the exam and secure a seat. You are going to a place to learn. So once you're there, you can take as much time as you want to learn there. There's no basic skill set that you need. You're already in search classes. I think you have enough prerequisite, or you learn more than enough prerequisite to like sit in those classes and not feel like you don't understand anything.
see the eligibility criteria is mentioned in application brochure. One of the major criteria is you should clear gate, right? Other skills, you need the degree, undergraduate degree. Skill sets on the point of doing masters is to learn the skill sets, to start becoming an expert at something. Okay, let's look at the second thing. So parameters we should look at, if we have to check between MS and MTech, if you have to decide between MS research or Masters of Technology, what are the parameters we should look at? Again, your thoughts, Himanshu?
I am probably not the best person to answer this question, but I think my experience with research is a little afar. I'm still learning about it. That's why I did not go for research. I went for a conventional MTech program. The parameters that I chose to actually choose the college that I wanted to go to, which was Bombay, was talk to a lot of people who are actually attending these colleges. I understood how the culture in those labs are. I understood how the college is. I went through their course curriculum and saw if these are the subjects that I actively want to study here. And do they align well, 50%, 70%, or whatever percentage of it with my vision? So that was it. I had to, after I secured the rank, I actually did that. Before that, I was just, if I clear the exam, that's great. I'll get a college, that's great. But after that, I actually put in active efforts. I researched the faculty and I understood that these are the kind of people, or these are like different backgrounds that I may get to work into. So you slowly understand like it's an adventure you're actively choosing. So all this becomes fun. It may seem like a anxious decision right now to think, oh, where to go, what to do, will this pan out great or not? But it's actually exciting to choose where you're going to be for the next 2 years and what you can do. It's brilliant. I'm very excited about going to home.
Yeah, yeah. This is a question I could add something to. First of all, having so many options is not the problem. You want to be there, okay? Too many options. There are easy ways to decide. Not having any option is the real problem. So that's what you should try to avoid. That is, not performing well in gate and not having options is the bad thing. And a quick answer towards MS versus MTech. What should you do? Typically, most of the students from our country don't have a nice financial background. They want to go up the economic ladder. And for those students, okay, of course, education is the ladder. And for those students specifically, MTech is the best option. Get into one of the old IITs, do basics, take care of basics, okay, and you'll get placed at a nice company. May not be a biomedical company, but you'll have a nice pay if you take care of basics, okay. So financials, of course, we all have a family, you know, and we all will soon start running a family, if not now, pretty soon. So that's a major parameter. That's the most important parameter. Choose MTech. Curiosity, passion for research is the most your driving force. You're very curious about things, and you are also, you know, you think you want to do research. Still, MTech is a good option. Okay, MS is not a good option even if you're interested in research. You want to settle down in academia. You want to go work in a research lab or something like that. Even then, no, that parameter is not decisive of MS. Parameter that is very decisive of MS is you already have 2-3 publications as an undergraduate biomedical engineering student or an undergraduate student. Okay, you have solid evidence that you could do research. That's the one parameter based on which I will choose between MS and MTech. I have publications while applying for MTech and MS. So this means during your UG or after your UG, you manage to get one or two papers, at least one publication. That's a good sign that MS would suit you. Okay, finances MTech. If you have publications, MS. And PhD always test the water with either MS or MTech, and then do things. But that's for a different day. Okay, and so we are getting back to I'm sorry, Himanshu. I am also taking some
No,
time because
I don't know, sir. Please, sir. I am also
uh,
learning. I'm
uh,
getting validation about my choices right now. That's also great.
okay. So yeah, one of the things is one of the things I'm learning from YouTube is any benign statement can turn very malignant to some students. All of a sudden, you realize that you offended a couple of students when you made it public, right? That always happens a case, and finding okay, that's the case, you know. So, but I'm glad that I reinforced your success, thoughts on your success and your choices. John Key wants to know what are the projects you did in mechatronics related to biomedical?
Okay.
Himanshu.
I For my major project, we made an exoskeleton. It was a knee. It was an EMG based knee exoskeleton. We made a non-invasive blood glucose monitoring device. I worked a little on medical imaging, and yeah, these 2 3 projects were enough for me to get very excited about this because I had been doing mechanical related projects, working with engines, working in workshop. So yeah, this was really new to me, and I was finally able to understand biology. It always used to be like just difficult words, people just trying to show off, making difficult words. But now I'm able to just get a grasp of it. So it makes more sense.
Okay, see, everyone knows about their passion, but the world will recognize your passion if you have evidence for that supporting your passion, right? I think the projects Himanshu mentioned, even biomedical students may not have done so many biomedical projects. That's what I felt. Okay, so yeah, that's very indicative of his interests, and that's a strong evidence. Okay, and the next question is, do you have any plans after MTech? I think you should have some fun for the time being, and let's hear from him.
Exactly. My plan for MTech is I'm going to a great city, which is Bombay, and I'm going to a great college. So I am going to enjoy my time there completely, um, in the city as well, and in the course, obviously. So as that goes, I think after 2 years, I will decide for myself if I want to work for a few years before I'm ready to jump into a PhD, or if I get an advisor whose vision is also very beautifully contagious and makes me want to go for a PhD, I'll go for that. But yes, I am definitely going to apply for an exchange program with IIT Bombay. They offer that, they have great tie-ups. That was another reason why I also chose Bombay. So that's my plan for the
Okay.
duration of my MTech.
So some of us are struggling to have a plan for a next for tomorrow or for the upcoming week. You have a solid plan for 2 years. That's good to know. And there is a compliment saying that you have done nice projects, worked on,
Thank you
gained
so
some nice
much.
experience. Okay. And if there are no other questions, it was a wonderful evening. There is one
I
more
think
question.
Akansha is also raising her hand.
There is at least one more question. Yeah. So Dinesh Kumar. Hi, Dinesh Kumar. Please go ahead with your.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Hi, sir.
Hi then.
Hi, Manchu. Yes, great to meet you virtually. And I'm also a working professional. Even now, I am hiding myself from my boss to attend this meet as well.
That's lovely.
So my question is, what are all the subject you felt difficult on testing, and can we all know how was your schedule for those subjects? As you said, you had only 3 to 4 hours. Can you elaborate on that?
So So biomechanics was the subject I loved. So I did not study much of it. I just used to do numericals of it as much as I could because 3 underlying concepts, right? Besides that, I will share that sheet with sir, which has a lot of topics on it. What I tried to do was I used to cover 2 or 3 topics a day. It could be, or even one. If I were to just study on X-ray, I would not even be able to go through the entire part of X-ray. So I just break down those topics enough to understand what I want to study and just sit down and just start, because starting at times becomes the most difficult part, because when you don't know something, you feel the most sleepy, you get frustrated, and that's it. You just have to sit down. Once you start sitting down, your brain will also start being active on those hours, and it will be actually fun when you get to learn something. For me, like MRI was a point when I learned MRI, I struggled with that one simple thing, how it works for a week or so. After so many videos and this and that, after asking rigorous questions from sir, when I finally understood it, it felt so nice. I think that was the biggest reward, just understanding how these things work. So once you understand a topic or two, you will want to sit down and study again. So it's not, so for me it was 3 to 4 hours because I could not sit down more than that. There are people who are able to sit for 5, 6 hours, people who are able to even do it in the 2 hour span, which I'm able to do in 4 hours. So it really depends on your caliber, like how much you're able to grasp in that time, how much active attention or active reading you can do. So that's pretty much it. So
Yeah. Yeah, you gave an excellent answer. I will just know because I am kind of comparing this. I will add something to it.
please, sir.
He already made it. I'm just going to rephrase it. Okay, so it's not the size of the dog in a fight, right? It's the fight of the dog that really matters. Okay, and it's not about quantity, so and so many hours. It's about quality. 2 hours, was it laser focused on the topic that you decided to choose? And that laser focus also needs some raw materials like fun, okay, enjoying the process, genuine curiosity to understand the subject, learn the subject. Okay, so go for quality over quantity. Okay, in terms of number of hours, and have all the, one of the things I try hard to is to cultivate a environment where there is a, nurturing, there is a nice learning environment. Environment is so nurturing. There are all this positivities surrounding you if you are there, that actually make the learning process fun. Okay, uh, we could do a part of it. Rest of it should come from, all of you. And as far as the hard subject, difficult subjects go, it's very very uh, student specific. Okay, someone math is very hard, someone English is very hard. Okay, you have to make that call. Best we could get that entire list, we'll make it available for all of you, even those who are watching in YouTube. This Okay, we'll make it available. You have a list, pick, find your strengths, and stick to that. Okay, okay, thanks Dinesh, again nice question. Again, thanks Himanshu.
Yes.
uh,
Thank you, sir. Worth time. Worth spending time here. Thank you. Best
Thank
wishes, sir,
you.
by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
So actually, yeah, he is wishing, we are wishing all of you to have a nice 2023 gate exam.
Yes. Yes, guys, get
Thank you,
it.
sir.
All the best.
Okay, it can be fun. That's one of the things we learned. Okay, have fun, and so get to a place where you get to choose. Okay, that's a nice feeling, and lots of opportunities open up. Okay, this is one place where your career can literally get impacted, and in a positive way. Okay, so all the effort you put in, your consistency, your diligence, your hard work, okay, your creativity, your passion, all of that will manifest, will get a physical form once you clear this gate exam, once you kind of do well in this gate exam. Okay, wish you all good luck with that. Himanshu, hoping to see a nice neuroscientist, and who knows, few
Thank you,
decades
sir.
down the line, I might be asking you for an interview on neuroscience. Okay, I hope we stay in touch. Okay, wish you very good
We will
luck.
be there. Thank you so
Um,
much.
yeah, your who you are is going to take you places more than what we did. Nice, such a nice person. I am glad to know you. Okay, and yeah, wish you good luck. Um, you're going places. Okay, we'll keep in touch, and everyone here, have a nice time. Okay, so have fun, and then we will see with more useful videos, meetings, as well as useful videos. So nice time to wind up. Call it a day.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Okay, Himanshu. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you all in class tomorrow. Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye bye.